on. Boom. We're here. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Roll for Mischief. The name of the game is Voloheen, Winds of War. The name of the episode 10, is Minutes to Midnight, and we're just going to be wrapping up this last session of this one. We left the characters hanging out with Agner Bosch, who does not look good. He's been poisoned. He's been stabbed several times. Seems like he's lost a lot of blood, because you can see a big trail of blood leading to where he has been. But you guys have hung out with him. You've taken a little short rest together. Leovan and Eridu have been using their various healing abilities to get Agner up to speed. And he, at this point is able to stand. He looks a little bit weak still. He's leaning heavily on Talon's blade, as if it's some kind of walking stick or something. But he's getting a little bit more of his strength back, moment by moment, it seems. And he looks at you all and he says, "Okay, are you all ready to do this?"
Yep.
Of course.
Yes.
Very well. Let's. And he starts to lead you all down the hallway. Hold on a second. Oh, he's locked. There we go. Now we can move him. So Agner, he goes up to the door, and Leovan's going to hang back, and maybe Hilofax is there, Eridu's there, Ellie's there, Aina's there.
Can I be right next to Agner? Because I feel like staying right on his heel.
For sure. Yeah, we'll actually flip it around.
Eridu's gonna be right there too.
Oh, okay.
We're both shouldering each other out of the way.
Alright, so you've got this general kind of order that you're in, and then Agner looks at you all and he says, "There may be enemies on the other side of this door. How should we proceed? Just kick down the door? Swords ablazing?"
Eridu's got one sword in his main hand, and his offhand is free. And he looks at Agner, knowing Agner can't see him back, and he says, "Brother, I believe it is time that we kill them all."
Very well. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and then he just takes the full force of his body, takes all the strength that he can, and just hits the door as hard as he can, and the door just busts open.
I'd like to say Eridu is assisting him in that.
Okay, easily done. And you guys burst out of the door, and we'll actually flip to the other map that I've set up, the other half of it, and you guys just burst right into the situation and spread out into a bit of a formation here. Maybe Ein comes into the side, Hilofax and Leovan right there, and you guys, let's see. Let me try and find the right ones here.
Looks pretty good.
There's that. There's this. And there's this. There we go. Are you seeing them?
I see a drow.
You see 2 drow and one.
I see 2 drow.
You see 2 drow and 1 drider.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
dude. I know. So, yeah, a drider. No big deal. No big deal.
Is it an Agner Drider?
Not. I mean, what are you talking about? No.
Like a half Agner?
No, it's a regular drider, dude. Conventional. I'm sorry. What was that, Carrie?
So can we see the crystal? Or what it is that we're trying to...
No, you don't see any kind of crystal here. If you recall back, Agner, when he was describing his journey, it's he said he went to the Great Hall, which this looks like a Great Hall, and then he said he went down the staircase to the sanctum.
Right, okay, sorry. Can I, when we see the drider, so as soon as I catch eyes on it, I'd like to touch Agner's shoulder and cast Spider Climb on him.
Okay. Cool.
I guess I'll whisper that that's sort of done.
All right. He whispers a hurried thanks. He thinks that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a surprise round. Because, yeah, with Agner's kind of like foreknowledge and your ability to bust through the door like that, I'll give you guys a little surprise round to do your thing.
I know, you gotta surprise me first. What do these here drow look like?
They look like the same kind of drow that you have seen. There's a couple of like rank and file members that look like the ones that you have killed previously, and then the yeah, and then the Drider is, you know, a female-looking top half of a drow, and then the insanely large and intimidating spider-like abdomen. Yeah, so it's big. It's very big. So, do you guys want to do? Yeah, you want to roll initiative and do your little surprise in your order?
I rolled a 6 in total. Eridu is being very hesitant apparently in this entire combat.
Mm-hmm. All right.
20.
Okay. I'm gonna have Agner and Leovan go like in this particular. I'm just gonna go last.
21.
Oh wow.
Halifax is on it.
Okay. Alright, so it's going to be Halifax, Ellie, then the Drow, then Eridu, then Agner and Leovan last. And go Halifax. Let me flip to the other thing. You are in the back, but from your vantage point, you can certainly see all of the combatants.
Right. Do I think I could run up to the Drider?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, you could. Yeah, you're definitely within range just to walk over. You can get on either side of it that you want.
I don't have any cool, like, touch spells. It's a shame, because I want to touch them with my hammer. Identify as a touch spell. Like, I know these.
I identify that you're a bad Drider. You're very bad.
In that case, I'm going to move so that I am 10 feet in front of the Drider. Cast my hammer forward and conduct lightning from the end of it. I'm going to cast lightning bolt.
Oh, cool.
At 5th level.
Krakow!
So this will be a dexterity saving throw on the Drider's part. DC 17.
17. Oh, I rolled a 4. How about that? Go ahead and do your crazy lightning damage, my dude.
Right. Well, I'm not picking my D6 up, so... total is 34 lightning damage.
Okay. Alright, that is a pretty good chunk that gets ripped. There's like a bit of flesh on the shoulder, just like gets ripped off and totally scarred. And there's a screeching sound that is high pitched and just rattles your eardrums as the Drider takes the hit. It looks pissed. Looks very pissed at you.
Nah, you know, I'll save a quip for the end.
Okay. All right. Anything else for Halifax to do?
I'll just quickly chat to Eridu. Eridu, do you need a hammer?
Eridu is gonna give what appears to be sort of a almost insane smile and swirl the sword very deftly. No, I have this.
Crazy. Creepy. Alright. So then that's going to be Ellie's turn.
Okay. Can I get over to the Drider? Is that probably the biggest threat in the room?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of actual size, yes. And
the largest threat.
The largest threat. It is larger than the other two for sure. You are right next to Halifax. You're about 10 feet away from the Drider, so you could certainly get right up in front, or you could try and circle around to the back if you wanted to try that, perhaps, or...
No, I'll just run up in front of it.
Okay.
That's fine.
Alright, so you're right in front of the Drider, in between Halifax and the Drider. And do you want Ein to move as well?
Yes, but I'll do that with my bonus action. Can I do that after my attack? Though?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, cool. So 18 to hit.
Checking my notes. That misses.
Right, okay. Second attack. 25.
That'll hit.
Okay. 18 damage. That includes the Arcane Jolt.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And then I will instruct Ein.
5, 10, 15. Do you want Ein to go like adjacent to the Drider as well?
Yeah. Can I tell him to take defensive pounce against it?
Yeah.
Which means he imposes disadvantage on the attack roll of that creature, provided the attack roll is against a creature other than Ein.
Other than Ein. Okay, yeah, definitely. So Ein just gets all up in the Drider's business on the other side, right after you've taken your rapier and like found a little spot in the abdomen that's nice and soft, and you stab right there. A little arcane jolt pulses through the rapier, and it has like a very kind of destructive sound and effect on the Drider, and then Ein just comes out of nowhere, more like mechanical sounds.
And I'd like to. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go on.
Can I activate my boots as well and jump back to where I started?
Oh, for sure. Definitely. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, you could just go like right back there.
Cool.
Definitely. Okay, so next is going to be the Drow, and I'll go ahead and have the Drider go first. The Drider is super occupied with Ein, so yeah, it's just going to try and go crazy on Ein using a multi-attack situation. Flashes out with its longsword, gets a 9 to AC, which will definitely miss. Gets a 21 to AC. Will that hit? Carrie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Sorry.
I was trying to nod.
It's okay. I keep flipping between that and the this and the map, so sometimes I can't see you guys, and it's hard for you to know when I'm flipping between back and forth. So, all right. So that's a hit, and then the next one is going to be 18 to AC. Does that one hit?
Yeah, you only need 15.
Okay, alright, so Ein will take a total of 16 slashing damage from the longsword attacks. And that, the Drider's just completely focused on that. Now the other two Drow, let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. This one goes up on the side and tries to hit Eridu with a hand crossbow kind of situation. And that is going to be 21 to AC.
Yes, indeed.
Eridu.
Except that I'm going to catch it and throw it back.
Oh wait, what? You can do that,
dude.
Oh, you could use a key point to do it.
Okay, so let's see. The first thing I gotta do is, let's see, deflect missile. Use a reaction to deflect a missile when you are hit by a ranged attack. I can reduce the damage, and if I reduce the damage to 0, then, and I have a free hand to do it, I can use a 2 point and throw it back. So first off, I'm gonna reduce the damage and hopefully get it to 0.
Okay.
So it's 12 plus the d10. So that is a total of 21 is what I've reduced the damage by.
That reduces it to 0 for sure.
Alright, I'm gonna spend that key point and I'm gonna throw it back at her.
Bam!
And make a ranged attack as though. Okay, make a ranged attack. And that's probably gonna miss. Does a 12 hit?
It does not hit.
Okay.
But
So I swing back and just shoot right past her head.
shoot right past the head, and that causes a spot of darkness to show up. Right, encompassing that drow.
Okay.
And that's that drow's turn. And then the other one, what is it going to do? It's going to go 5, 10, 15. 5, 10, 15, 20. Ooh, yeah. That drow is going to take another one of those lovely poison orbs that you experienced earlier, and it's going to throw it right in the whole pack of you guys. So Egner, Leovan, Ellie, and Eridu have to make Constitution saving throws.
Well, I just rolled a natural 20 on that.
Well,
So
there you go.
I just rolled a natural 1.
Oh no.
I
Okay.
am not getting stuck with all these.
Oh wait, no,
disadvantages.
Hilofax, you're out of the radius of it. You don't have to roll. I only called for Egner, Leovan, Eridu, Ellie.
Fudge for that.
Yeah. No, you're okay. You're okay. Well, okay, what Ellie get?
24.
Oh wow. Okay. So you two save. Leovan and Egner did not save. So they are poisoned for a while, which sucks for them.
That ability is not fun.
Not fun. Being poisoned is not fun, and Egner was already poisoned. So next is Eridu's turn, who is not poisoned, by the way.
Alright. He's not poisoned. So you got that cloud of darkness covering one of the drow.
Yeah, but you pretty much know where it is. I mean, it hasn't moved out of the darkness since you shot that back at it. And
Oh yeah,
at
but
her.
if I get into the darkness, I'm rolling with disadvantage. So
Yeah, that's
that
true.
works. I'm gonna go ahead and play step as a bonus action, isn't it?
Yes.
That totally changes what we do. Nope, I'm just gonna charge up to that that drow in front of me.
Oh, the
Just-
one that threw the poison?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Full
you,
on sprint towards that one.
uh-huh.
And I'm going to pop a key point, and I'm going to do 2 fist attacks and a sword.
Oh, dang.
Holy shit! I just rolled 2 crits in that one.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, okay.
Alright, so it's 2 20s and a 13. So my lowest to hit is 20.
Mm-hmm. That'll hit. They all
alright.
hit.
Right. So it really doesn't matter because all the damage is the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm going to take the crits and make the next punch for the hell of it.
Yeah.
I just doubling the damage I deal with this.
Yeah, so, I mean, what's your die for...
It's a d6.
So you'd roll 2d6 for each
wow.
one of those punches. So it's going to
Okay.
be like 4d6. It's going to be like 5d6 plus your whatever modifier over 3 attacks. So it's like your modifier times 3
Right.
plus 5d6.
Alright.
It's bonkers.
$31 damage in total.
Whoo! All right, so you just one-shotted this drow
Alright,
entirely.
can I like explain how this happens?
Absolutely, you can.
Alright, so I charge forward, and my first thing that I do is like run and just kind of plant my foot in her chest and just kick her to the ground. And then I bring my next hand down, grab her face, and just slam the back of her head into the stone. And then
Damn.
take the sword and just slit her throat. And then I'm gonna
Brutality.
turn and face the Drider. And at this point, anybody who's looking, like Eridu, kind of has a bit of a bloodlust going on here. He just wants to kill shit.
Certainly. Certainly. Well, goddamn, dude.
Anybody who watched him brutally murder Rafalin might remember this sort of intensity, but up until that point, nobody else in this room may have seen this.
Yeah, no joke. Alright, well, next, after that brutality, that was Eridu's turn. It's going to be Egner and Laven's turn, and let's see, Laven's going to go up a little bit. Laven's going to go first, and he's just going to indiscriminately create bonfire in the inside of the darkness and try and roast that drow, is what's going to go on. So the drow has to make a... fails it. Takes some fire damage. And... yeah, and then Egner, who doesn't care about no darkness, is just gonna run up and try and snicker snack slash that drow. Scoring 1 hit, and is that gonna be enough? That's cocked. That is not going to be enough. So the drow is engaged with Egner in the darkness right now. And then we take it back to Halifax's turn.
Alright. So we are one drow down,
Flip it
another
back, yeah.
drow
Yeah, engaged with
currently
Egner.
overseas.
Yeah.
And the Dryder's still standing.
Yeah. The Drider's still standing, engaged with Ein. Having a nice little tussle.
Okay. In that case, I will charge up to Ein, grab onto part of him as it's like raising a limb or something, rise up, and then throw another lightning bolt before dropping down next to Ein again.
Okay, so yeah, you get lifted up on a limb and kind of like, yeah, just get right in the Drider's face and go crack, and then right back down behind. So let's see.
Another dex save.
Another dex save. Oh my god, a natural 1.
Oh, sweet.
You remember what I did the last time I rolled a 1 on a dex save for a lightning bolt?
I don't remember the last time.
Oh, it was recently. It was when you were hurling lightning bolts like 2 sessions ago.
Yeah.
I let you treat it like a critical hit, and I kind of like that idea, you know, because it's like there would be no way, since you don't roll an attack roll for lightning bolt, there would be no way for you to say like I just crit on this spell. But I like the idea of allowing critical hits on spells. So if someone rolls a 1 on a saving throw for the spell, then I just like treat it like they just did such a bad job dodging it. Yeah. So all you guys are rolling critical hits like crazy.
That is 72 lightning damage.
Krakow! Man.
Unlimited power!
Exactly, dude. So that's some like Emperor Palpatine level crazy shit, and that's actually enough to completely roast the Drider.
While I'm shooting the lightning, sort of on my way down from getting a lift from mine, I will shout, mostly drowned out from the sound of the lightning and thunder cracks, but I will shout that this is for Aigner, for Okrim, for Thiala. Just unleash all of this lightning into her face.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, the lightning is so intense that it just completely roasts and like burns off the face of the Drider, and its smoking corpse just falls with a heavy thud in front of you and Ein.
And then just for final flavor, raise the warhammer and just smash it into the charred remains.
Damn, dude. You guys are going crazy this session. This is
Oh yeah.
This is fun.
Murder hobos.
We're trying to one-up each other now.
Full on murder hobo status. All right, so next is Ellie's turn, and yeah, there's only one combatant left in the room right now.
I don't know how doable this is, but I would like to try and get Ein to shove the Drider out of the darkness.
try and shove it,
Well,
shove it out. Oh yeah, yeah, you can do that. You
yeah,
can just
maybe
order.
that's not.
I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, cause I mean, sensibly, it's like Ein's big enough to where Ein would just like bowl through that area and then try and overrun the drow. Like, I'm not gonna give Ein like disadvantage because it can't see where the drow is because it's just gonna be going through the entire area where the drow is. So,
Yeah, I'm just double thinking whether it's actually a good
oh, okay.
idea. Well, can I go in there and I'll just try and attack it? I get disadvantage, right?
Yeah, you do because you don't know where you're like stabbing in there necessarily.
Oh, it's probably just gonna be about the dark. So, no, right, okay. I'm gonna try and get him to shove him out of the darkness. Sorry, it'll go okay.
Okay.
Try and get Iron to.
All right, so that would be like an athletics check.
So that's right. Yeah, no. 7.
Okay, so you Ein actually starts rolling through the area and it doesn't seem to make contact with anything. And then Ein just like comes out on the other side of the darkness and kind of crashes up against the wall a little bit and looks confused.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna presume it's still there though, because I haven't seen it leave.
Yeah.
So.
What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do?
I'm just gonna try and attack. I'll just attack with disadvantage. It's fine.
Okay, roll it.
19.
Oh, that'll hit.
I'm gonna do the jolt with this one because the next one went there.
Uh-huh.
18.
Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. That drow is gonzo, dude. And as the drow dies, so does the area of darkness, and you guys are left in the empty great hall. Egner, leaning on Talon's blade, catches his breath, and he coughs a bit, and some very like sickly looking like greenish phlegm comes out of his mouth, and he's just like he's really hacking and like disgusting, like and he's just like spitting out this greenish thick phlegm. Looks like he's still a bit poisoned, and he looks over at Halifax and says, "Halifax, where is Theala anyway?"
Come, we must find this crystal.
Okay, yes. Over here. And Egner, getting a bit of his strength back, walks slowly across the Great Hall, and he leads you guys to the front. And you're walking past these pillars, walking past these old decrepit tapestries around you. You see at the very back of the room there is a huge sculpture. It looks like a fireplace, but a fancy fireplace. You can just see like this. It's in the shape of a dwarven face, a visage, and the open mouth is the hearth of the fireplace. And right in front of that fireplace, there would have been a grand stone throne, essentially. Very nice chair, but you can see that it's knocked over busted to pieces, and in front, in front of the fireplace instead, there is a opening in the ground that leads to a spiral staircase.
I'll point with the hammer. Down there.
Down there.
I shall cast light on the head of the hammer, hold it in front of me, and start walking down the stairs.
Very well. All right, so yeah, we're going to flip over to yet another map that I have. And yeah, you guys go down to the bottom of the staircase. It leads out into a more natural looking stone corridor, and it opens up into this this wide open area, and you can see the eerie blue glow of something distinctly kind of magical looking in the distance. And let's see, Halifax is going first.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, Leovin's in the back. Agner is a bit in the back. Maybe Ellie. Yeah. Something like that. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Okay.
Will do.
Alright, so you guys go up in there, and you see that there is another Drider, there are 3 Drow, and there is 1 Drow male who is standing and looking at the crystal and waving his hands in this mysterious kind of way. It looks like they're all kind of focused on the crystal at the moment. The crystal is floating in the air above this circular area that's inlaid with all sorts of runes, and yeah, they're all just looking at it expectantly. The crystal is glowing and pulsing with a kind of inner power. And a voice, the voice of the male drow, rings out, echoing throughout the chamber. And he says, "My long-lost son has returned to me."
I'll step aside, kind of away from the group a little bit, sword in hand, and say, "Father, it's about time that I have found you again."
"Too long, my son. I always hoped that we would be together again, and that you would rejoin the fold."
Why else do you think I have come?
Is that going to be a deception roll, or?
It would be a deception roll, wouldn't it?
roll it.
I am still exhausted, so I still have the thing, but I'm going to use my inspiration to get rid of that.
There you go.
So that is a 12. Not wonderful. Not great.
What are this guy's stats, anyways?
Some numbers.
So only a total of 12?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. He looks at you, and his eyes squint a little bit, and there's a slight grin on his face, and he says, "Eridu, you've always been bad at lying, even from when you were a child."
I'm sure I have done much to disappoint you, but I am here to try to earn your graces again. It's why I have played a part so well that perhaps it seems I'm devoted completely to it.
If you were truly here to get into my good graces, you would not bring such awful company with you. And he casts an eye over at Leovan.
Why wouldn't I? Doesn't it help to bring the enemies to our door so that we can dispatch of them quickly and efficiently?
You did pick up on at least one lesson that I taught you. I'm only sad that we may have to dispatch of you all.
I would be edging a little bit closer with this if it seems that nobody's reacting exceedingly violently in the moment.
You would be getting closer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you can get closer. Oh, wait. Oops, that's the wrong one. Here you are. So, what do you say? You're 10 feet away from your old pops?
I think that's a good distance.
You're about 10 feet away from your old pops. About 5, 10, 15, about 15 feet to your left, there is the Drider standing menacingly, and the other drow are respectfully hanging back.
Yeah. So there's the gem is in the center of the room, right?
It is. Yeah.
Well, this would probably be a good time to roll initiative because when I feel like I'm gonna get close enough in range, I'm actually gonna go ahead and do my key which one is it called? The one that knocks them back. And attempt to hit my dad with that and push him towards the gem.
Word. Okay.
So probably roll initiative since he's not clearly like convinced that I'm here to help him. So I wouldn't get a surprise round on this.
Good call. Good call. So everybody roll initiative.
16.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness.
14.
Bad rolls. But he's got good dexterity. That's what he's got. Alright, so I'm sorry, 14 was whom?
Moi.
Okay. And 16 was Eridu, and what'd you roll, Ellie?
15.
Okay. 14, 15, 16, right in a row. Alright, so it's going to be Eridu, Ellie, Halifax, then the Drow, then Aegner and Leovan at the bottom. So,
Alright.
Eridu,
Again, doing that like fist
yeah.
palm, boom!
kaboom!
And thunderous crash fills the room. A wave of air just catches my father in the chest. He has to make a 15 dexterity or 15 strength save throw.
Strength saving throw, huh? How strong is your dad anyway? He's middling amount of strong. He gets the, oh gosh, he misses it by 1.
Yay!
Dang. So what happens to him?
So I'm knocking, like sending him flying back 10 feet, or 20 feet, and
Mhm.
he's gonna be knocked prone. I don't know the significance of the gem, but this is angled so that he would be going right toward it.
Right toward it. Well, I'll tell you what.
Roll.
Oh, you're rolling damage?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Well, I'll tell you what, you do the damage, and he gets thrown toward the gem, and he actually gets shloop, sucked up in it, and disappears momentarily.
That was 8 bludgeoning damage.
8 bludgeoning damage to your old man.
Yep.
Okay.
Key point for the dodge action.
Good call. Good call. Okay. That is Eridu. Next is Ellie.
Okay. So as far as I know, Aigner needs to do something here to stop the gem, right?
Yeah, he had mentioned that he's got the ability to do it with his sword. It's like he's just gotta get up enough.
Okay, so
and do
I
it.
am gonna kind of turn to him, and I mean it's ranged, but I'm gonna use it as an excuse to touch him again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna like press a hand to him, to like his shoulder, and say, "This might help more than the other thing I did." And I'm going to cast haste on him instead.
Ha 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 ha. That's awesome. Haste is sick. Haste is super sick.
And I let my hand linger for slightly too long, and then pull it back, and then I maybe go and deal with the Dryder maybe again. I'm gonna do the defensive pounce.
Defensive pounce. Alright, so Ein just charges past Halifax and gets adjacent to the Dryder and is got the defensive pounce going on there. And yeah, Egner's come up at this point, and he appreciates the bit of haste that you gave him. And he says, "You're incredibly helpful, Ellie. Thank you."
He can't see me blushing, but she's blushing. I'm just grinning. Like, yeah, I am.
Yeah, he whips around Talon's blade a little bit and says, "I feel great right now." Alright, so that's Ellie's whole turn? Or wait, does Ein get to attack? Or, no, just does defensive pounce.
Yeah.
Good call. And next is going to be Halifax.
Sweet. Ooh, I've wanted to say this for a little while.
Yeah.
DM,
Yeah.
can I see the map, please?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Here you go.
Okay. Do. Okay. Okay. So Eridu's dad just disappeared into the crystal.
Yeah. Eridu knocked him back through the air, and his body like hit the crystal and just kind of like got sucked into it, and it's still pulsing with this similar kind of energy.
Okay. I will not go and just destroy the crystal. Instead, I shall.
Destroy it.
You guys have no idea what might happen.
I know.
You guys have no
like,
idea.
Off into the spiders.
Oh my goodness.
In fact, I shall call out to Eridu. Eridu, this crystal. What is our goal?
I believe it was for Egner to do what he needed to do with the sword to make it stop working.
And you're still comfortable with that?
Of course. We didn't come here to deal with this man, but it shall be dealt with, regardless. Agner, do your thing.
Yes, of course.
And then I shall do mine. I will target one of them.
One of the drow?
Yes, one of the drow. And I will attempt to dominate person.
Oh, wow.
Wisdom saving throw of 17 for them. And if they fail, then I essentially get control. Get a telepathic bond, and I can issue commands, which they does its best to obey.
Okay, do you want left, right, or center?
Center.
Okay. They do not have great wisdom. Your DC is like, what, 17?
17.
I failed it.
Okay.
Failed it.
So they are charmed by me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, apologies. Creatures friendly to me are fighting it, so it gets advantage on the saving throw.
Oh, okay. I rolled again. It still didn't do anything.
Excellent. So it's charmed by me. I've got a telepathic link between me and it, so long as we're on the same plane of existence. So distance is not a factor. And I can use this telepathic link to issue commands to the creature while I am conscious. No action required, which it does its best to obey.
Mm-hmm.
You can specify a simple and general course of action, such as attack that creature, run over their or fetch that object. If the creature completes the order and doesn't receive further direction from you, it fends and preserves itself to the best of its ability.
Okay.
And I can use my action to take total and precise control of the target. But I will simply issue the telepathic command, kill the other drow.
Mm-hmm. All right. So it is completely dominated by the Hillophax, dude. That's what's going on
I
there.
do enjoy dominating.
We know.
All right. So in that
We've seen
case,
your outfits.
so it's going to be the Drow's turn, and it is going to, the one in the center that has gotten dominated is just going to lunge 5, 10, 15, 20, lunge and hop right on this other one and just try and stab it. And it's going to hit for some damage. And then that other one is just going to immediately try and hit it back, get into this nasty melee. That's going to hit it back. So yeah, they are tearing chunks out of each other. And then the other one, who is not getting held up or anything, it's going to go 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah. It's going to shoot Eridu with a hand crossbow.
Hit me.
23 to AC.
While negating 19 points of damage.
Yep, you reduce it to 0.
And throw that right back.
Throwing that right back. Do it.
Oh man, I'm terrible at these rolls. 12. All my throwback rolls have been absolute garbage.
Yeah, well, at least you're not getting hit. So then what that does is that like shoots right back and creates this zone of darkness kind of like right here by this kind of thing. By this wall right behind there.
Okay.
And then what happens is that the fool that you thought was gone is not gone. Agrian, also known as Eridu's father, comes storming out of the crystal, and he goes 1, 2, 3. He rushes out, but then he's not really quite able to get there with the movement, but then he blips and teleports. And then he blips right here, right behind Hillophax, actually, and takes a stab out of Hillophax. Let's see. Alright, so that's going to be 21 to AC.
That will hit.
And then he gets another attack, and he's going to shift over to Ellie really quick. That is going to be only 16 to Ellie's AC.
Nope.
Okay, so Hillophax, you take 8 piercing damage and 10 necrotic damage. And...
Ooh, I'm resistant to necrotic damage.
Oh, there you go. And... he creates another little area of darkness. Yeah. So yeah, he plunges Hillophax into darkness as he stabs him.
Sweet.
And next it's going to be Egner and Leovin's turn. And Leovin, oh my gosh, Leovin just needs to get the hell out of here. 5, 10, 15, 20. He's going to try and get over here, and he's actually going to target the Drider with this crazy awesome spell called... what's it called? It's called Erupting Earth. A fountain of churned earth and stone erupts in a 20-foot cube centered on that point. Oh my goodness. So he's going to try and center it. 5, 10, 15, 20... Yeah, he's going to try and get both of the drow that are fighting with each other and the Drider. He's just going to do this whole crazy thing. And they're going to roll their saving throws. They miss it. The Drider also misses it. So that's going to be a good amount of damage right there. 5d12. Druids are crazy. 22. It's like 36 damage to them.
Nice.
Wow. Where's the Drider at? I don't think the Drider's been hit yet, guys. Alright, so those other two drow just... they're gone. For certain. And then Egner's turn. Egner goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He wants to get right up next to this whole thing where he's been seeing a web in this whole circular center bit of this. And he lifts Talon's blade high. Eridu has probably seen him do this many, many times, but Halifax maybe once, or I don't know. But he lifts Talon's blade high and stabs it right into the stone below, and it somehow sinks a bit into the stone, and energy and light just pulses from the pommel all the way to the tip of the sword into the ground, and this area around him, this huge circular area around him, just becomes infused with this kind of magical energy. He's using the Hallow spell that is associated with the sword, as I love to use it. This, honestly, Drew, this is like one of the coolest magic items ever. I've kept it with Agner because it's just like the spell is so cool and versatile, and you can just do so much badass shit with this. There is an option in Hallow called Extra Dimensional Interference. Affected creatures can't move or travel using teleportation or by extra dimensional or interplanar means.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the funniest thing about it is that Agner, like, he really has no intellectual sense of like, oh, this is what I can do with this magic item. He's just
all on emotion.
It's all emotion and
reacting
and
to the
feeling,
situation.
and he just gets his feeling of like, oh yeah, I can do something about this. Like when he used it to give everyone fire resistance when they were walking into the flaming inn, he was just realized like, oh, I think I can do something about this, you know? So yeah, so he does that and prevents the teleportation from happening.
What's the radius on that? Thing?
Oh, it's up to 60 feet. So with him here, 5, 10, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Yeah, it's like he's pretty much taking up most of this chamber with that effect.
It's a 60-foot radius?
From where he is.
In all directions?
In all directions.
Okay. That does change what I was gonna do. I can't teleport either.
Well, he can also choose to not affect you with it.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's like there's whole complicated wording with the spell where I can choose to not affect certain people
Oh, okay.
with the
Oh,
extra
well,
effect.
Can we go ahead and say that you don't affect me? Because I want to use my phase step.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you not affect me as well, please?
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. He's Come on, guys. He's not gonna hurt you with the effect, also, or whatever.
I don't know. He's blind. He's feeling out of emotion.
Well, that's true. It's
They're all
very
bad guys.
true.
All right. So we can teleport. Good.
You guys can teleport, and now it's going to be Eridu's turn.
Eridu teleports.
Okay, where does Eridu teleport?
He's just gone. He's not. No. Bring the map up again. And I'll tell you. 'Cause
It's here.
I'm gonna teleport next to my dad.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna teleport next to Agrian, and with just like a scowl on my face and my sword drawn, I'll pop up next to him. Like Agrian's whole form of teleportation is all about shadows, and just using that as a way of moving.
Mm-hmm.
Eridu, steps out and just is full of emotion from having actually moved through the Feywild. This one being rage and anger, and
Let's go ahead and make some swings and see what happens. My first attack is going to be a 16 to hit. My second is a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Okay. So I appear, I just kind of reach out for Agrian, and he just slaps my hand away, and then I just slash the sword. It flashes for 5 points of slashing damage, as I just like leave a nick across his face.
Mm-hmm.
I scowl at him and say, "You will leave my friends alone. And if you know what's good for you, you will leave for good."
He sneers at you and says, "Don't test me, child."
That's my turn.
Word. Okay, so that's Eridu's turn. It is now Ellie's turn. Also, dude, did I forget to attack with the Drider, dude, when it was the Drow's turn? I think I did the other Drow, and then I did Agrian, and then I didn't do the Drider. I did forget about the Drider. Well, I was just going to have the Drider attack Ein because Ein's doing such a good job of keeping the thing busy. So let's see if we can get a couple of attacks on Ein really quick before it's Ellie's turn. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Alright, my lowest one is going to be 14, which misses. But did you say it was only like 15 for Ein's AC? Okay, so the other two hit. So Ein takes another 16 slashing damage from 2 longsword attacks. Psh, psh. And now it's Ellie's turn.
Okay. Oh, so I'm in range of this guy. So I can't move, basically.
You are
I'm just gonna
within
attack.
range. You're just going to attack him. Cool.
Yeah. 22.
That'll hit.
16. That includes the arcane force. And these are magic attacks as well. Just I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case it matters.
Yeah. Alright, so he takes the damage, the arcane jolt pumps into his body, and he just winces in pain and gives you a hateful look.
And then 18.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit.
And 8. Oh, I don't know what happened there. 8.
8
Range
damage. Okay.
Yep.
Alright, he's taken hit after hit, and he is not looking too pleased about the situation. Anything else that Ellie's gonna do?
I think I'm gonna, because the Drider doesn't seem to be moving and trying to hit anyone else, I'm gonna have Ein do a bite attack instead.
Okay.
So it's 24 to hit.
That'll hit.
It's D8. 8 piercing damage.
Okay. Ein's doing a decent little job over there. The Drider is taking some hits, is bleeding pretty profusely, but it looks like it's still got plenty of strength to be able to fight on. And next is going to be Halifax.
Yeah. Can't do a concentration spell that will break my dominate person. So let's do a 4th level lightning bolt instead. Let's shoot at the Drider.
Alright. You're just gonna roast Driders all day long, dude. Gonna roast him.
I am, yeah.
Okay, what is that dexterity bonus that I have there? I got a total of 15, dude. Oh my goodness. Still failed. Still failed.
So now it's 9d6 rather than 10d6. Let's roll 31 lightning damage.
All right. Wow. You blast a chunk of the Drider's armor, and it just like electrocutes the Drider like significantly, and its arms flail up like, and it looks very like it's having a hard time getting electrocuted so badly. Having a hard time. God damn.
I'm trying to think of something that would have a nice time being electrocuted.
Well, certainly not the Drider right now. Certainly not. All right. Anything else for Halifax's turn?
Just telepathically reinforcing to the drow that I had.
Oh, that drow
controlled.
died actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
I lost track of that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
In that case, I will just make a mental note. Next time, go for one of the bigger, tougher ones.
Sure.
And that'll be it for my turn.
Okay. All right. So it is now the drow's turn, and let's see. What is he gonna do? He is going to lash out at Eridu. Actually, yeah, Eridu and Ellie, he is going to do lashing out at both of you guys again. So for Eridu, he'll roll a 19 to AC.
With naked so yeah, that hits.
Okay, so you take 8 piercing damage, 10 necrotic damage, and then he gets to do this crazy effect. So what he does is that he, as he stabs you with his thing, and you take the 18 damage from that, he takes his other hand and he swirls it into the area of darkness next to him, and then he just plunges that right into you. It just like gathers up all the darkness into this wispy like lance type thing, and it stabs into you as well. And you take an extra 20 necrotic damage, and he extinguishes the area of darkness right there.
Okay.
And
20 damage.
yeah, and then he rolls to try and hit Ellie, and that is 24 to AC, and
Yep.
you take 8 piercing damage and 10 necrotic damage, and then he just creates another zone of darkness that encompasses you.
Okay.
And then Agrian is going to go ahead and take attacks of opportunity from both Halifax and Eridu. And I don't know, I'd say Ellie as well, but since you're in the darkness now, Ellie, you get disadvantage. He's going to take attacks of opportunity from all of you, and he's going to try and run because he can't teleport anymore. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
Yeah,
30.
Got a 15.
That will miss.
I got
Okay.
a 23.
That'll hit.
You're at 21.
Okay, that'll hit.
10.
Okay. And Eridu hit as well.
Yeah, he dealt 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay. Alright. Agrian's pissed. He's pissed. So what else is going to happen? The drow is going to go ahead and kind of scoot up a little bit here, and is going to try and lob a thing of poison, actually. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, it's going to try and lob another poison bomb over at Halifax, Ellie, and Eridu. And you have to make Constitution saving throws.
Alright, I can totally not do that. Yeah, 12. It's a number.
That fails.
But it's the number.
19?
That passes. Halifax?
13.
That passes.
What?
Yeah.
What?
DC's 13, seriously. You just rolled one lower. I'm serious.
Ridiculous. If I had any, like, the slightest bonus for
Yeah.
fucking Constitution.
Alright, Eridu's poisoned again.
Okay.
And then the Drider at this point, the Drider is going to do a couple of things. The Drider is going to do a couple attacks on Ein, and I think with the +6, yeah. 9 plus 6 is 15, which hits, and Ein takes 8 more slashing damage. And then let's go ahead and have Ein and the Drider do a little athletics contest on each other.
Athletic.
Athletics. I shall roll athletics, and you shall roll athletics.
It's not good. 10. Oh no, not even that. 8.
Oh, sick, dude. I barely did it, but I beat you. I got a total of 9. You got 8. So, very weakly, like, you know, not in a very strong show of force or whatever, the Drider just like grabs Ein and just kind of like ugh, shoves Ein away, and like pushes it back 5 feet so that it can't take the attack of opportunity, while the Drider circles around and tries to do this kind of like offensive position, encircling on Egner here. And after that, it is going to be Egner and Levin's turn. So Egner, feeling that there's a lot of stuff around him, he's going to take a couple of attacks of opportunity while he runs. Oh, yeah. It's actually, what's his butt, Egrian, that hits Egner pretty hard as he comes away. And Egner looks like he didn't really enjoy that whatsoever, but he still carries on, and he's just screaming at you all as he's running closer, like, let's get out of here! And then Leovan, like he does in a very handy kind of way, has just the right spell to help you guys. And I'll show you kind of what it does. I'm just going to borrow this darkness right here. Oh gosh, no, that's not going to work the way I thought it might. I was going to try and stretch it out, but you can't actually do that with this. Other than that, he creates a wall of stone. I'll just use it to show you right here. He anchors one end of the wall of stone to hit this, and he anchors the other end right here, and he just completely blocks off this area right here. It just comes up from the ground. He does one of these, and then the wall of stone just completely blocks them from you, and he hisses at you all, run, fly.
Eridu's was already, in the process of charging toward his father when that happened, and when the wall comes up, he just slams into it and screams, "No!" and slams his hand on the wall. Adrian! And he's gonna have to have some physical movement.
Oh yeah.
Until he can, but after like the 2 hits, you can see just the hand holding the sword that he's hitting it with. He's like busted the pommel with the sword. He's split open the bottom of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Blood's running down his arm.
Well, it will definitely be Egner to come and grab you around the middle, and he, even though he looks like he's at a fraction of his former strength, he's able to just like kind of hold you over his shoulder and just physically rip you away.
As Egner's like yanking him away, he's screaming, "Where is she? What have you done with her?"
You hear no reply as your characters run as fast as they can out of the sanctum. You go up the spiral staircase, looking for or just keeping an eye on your tail. I mean, like I showed you before with the map, it's like they could have easily ran around the other side. So they might be on your tail, who knows. But you guys keep running as fast as you can. You go up and out of the Great Hall, pass all the drow corpses that you created and Egner created on the way, and you're just flying out of Iron Fist Hold as quick as you can. Retracing your steps back down the mountain slopes. Luckily, you don't run into any dwarven patrols like you did on the way up. Uh, you notice that a good amount of time has passed, and you are in this whole dawn kind of time. The sun is just starting to peak up. The birds are just starting to wake up, but you don't really have time to appreciate the sweet little bird songs as you run into the grove in the mountains that you had teleported to. And thankfully, no drow have been following you, as you can see. You enter the grove. Leovan quickly links hands with one of you, and you all link hands yet again. And before he steps into the tree, he says, like I told you earlier, if we are to truly heal Agner, I need the help of the other druids. The ones in Bronzewood Grove. They can do it. We need to take Agner back home to truly cleanse him.
I will go with you.
Let's. And then, with one hand sinking through the trunk of the tree, he daisy chains the rest of you into the creepy looking vein blood tree. And you step out of another tree that looks exactly like it. Almost exactly like it. Except this one is close to Bronzewood Grove, and that's kind of a surprise. I mean, not that any of you guys have had the opportunity or whatnot to go searching for these trees before, but it's interesting. You're realizing how much of a network that Leovan might have set up, spending so much time with these kind of trees all over the place. But anyways, where am I? You step out of the tree in Bronzewood Grove, and you look around to try and find the rest of the druids. They are not in their usual homes or little situations that they've made for themselves and in their area of the forest. They're not there. But as you walk around and you walk to the top of the hill where Agner's house is situated, you find the druids out there. They're gathered around the fire pit in front of Agner's house. It's got a beautiful view overlooking the rolling hills, the forest. You can see Twin Harbor in the distance. The morning sun is now getting higher in the sky. It is a gorgeous sight, even if you're not in the right headspace to appreciate it. The druids are sitting around the fire pit with none other than Emily, Lauren, and the entire Tranquility crew. As you approach, Emily looks up at you with tears streaming down her face. They took the temple. They took the Tranquility. They've taken everything from us.
No, they have not. Eridu's still clutching his sword, blood dripping on the ground. They have not taken our will to fight. The harbor is our home. It may now be under the hold of an intruder, a tyrant. But we will not stand idly by and watch him take everything we have at home. Not while we draw breath. We still live, brothers and sisters. And there are many fights to be had. Many of them are not ours, but this one is. Looking at Emily and any of the other people who've been predominant leaders in the rebellion. Come, we must convene. It's time to come up with a battle plan. There's no time to waste.
Yes. Agner, I'm glad you're back. Agner is looking weak, still leaning on his sword, and he says, it's good to be back, Emily. Emily, where is Theala? And then Emily lets uh, a long silence pass, and then with a croak of her voice just says, she's gone, Agner. She's gone. And Agner just hangs his head. Doesn't seem to have the energy to really say anything.
I think Halifax is going to wander over towards Aigner, just sort of stand close to him, not give him any physical comfort like a hand on the shoulder or anything, but just be there next to him.
Agner can sense your presence, and he will take his hand and put it on your shoulder. And you can feel through the kind of slight vibrations of his hand that he's having a hard time holding it together.
Can I step up to Eridu and go to take his cut up hand? Presume that's me.
Yeah, he'd realizing he'd been clutching this sword to the point that when he finally releases it, it takes real effort to get his fingers to move again.
Okay.
He'll open his hand, just drop the sword, and let her examine it.
So I just take his hand and not even look at it, look up at him, and run a finger over where the wound is, and cast Cure Wounds on it, and then just sort of give it a little bit of a sort of gentle squeeze and say, I'm really sorry you didn't get to finish the business that came up there. I want to help you guys with this war that you're fighting, and if I can, for you to find closure with your family.
Squeezing his hand, kind of feeling the blood flow back into it. While she was curing him, he kept her eye contact. His face very stoic, but deep in his eyes, she could see some sense of the sorrow that he's holding back. And he says, "He is no family of mine anymore. That's a life I gave up long ago. If we do not win the Twin Harbors back, I will have no home. But you, everyone here, you are now my friends. And I will protect that. Protect all of you. As long as I have breath."
Well, I think everyone here feels the same. You say you'll have no home, but I think these people are your home.
He smiles and says, "Thank you. That is comforting."
Nod and let go of the hand. Then.
All right. Did anyone have any final thoughts or anything? Any final scene to leave it on?
I thought that was good for me.
That was good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a heavy scene, but a good one to end on, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. So, yeah, your characters, for the foreseeable amount of time, for the near future, are laying low at Bronzewood Grove, laying low. really just trying to recover a bit, and Agner certainly needs to recover a bit. He's going to have Leovan and the other. Wait, is that why that was funny? Because it sounds like Leovan, laying low or something.
No, no, no,
Wait,
no.
wait,
It was something somebody said in chat.
Oh, okay. All right. So Agner has the druids gather around him, and they all coordinate their healing energies and really try and purge the poison out of Agner's system. Knowing Agner, he'll be okay. He might have some kind of scar or some kind of memory or some kind of thing to remind him of the trauma that he's been through. But he's going to be okay, I think. So yeah, that's the end of episode 10, Minutes to Midnight. Please join us next week where we will start episode 11, Dungeon Mastered by the fearless Dungeon Master Asa Kinney. And we'll see Agner back in the limelight. We'll see what happens to Eridu. I think there was a lot of very interesting Eridu-related action going on in this session in particular.
Yeah,
Definitely.
he can't help but put himself at the center of the drama.
Drama. Especially some
God.
family drama.
I know.
Makes me think of how Calthazar also had excessive family drama when his grandfather was the devil.
When,
Devil.
when your grandfather is like the Lord of Hell, yeah, it kind of makes drama.
It's family drama.
For sure. Eridu's grandfather is not the Lord of Hell. His father is just, well, he's a guy who does stuff.
He's a guy who does stuff with shadows and blades and shit like that.
I actually, coming back into my game, I think there are pretty decent parallels between Garth and Agrian.
Mm-hmm.
Only, Agrian's a little less. Well, actually, they're both kind of schemey about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it probably would be a great opportunity to showcase those parallels and why Eridu is so much against the tyranny of the people in power. Twin Harbors now. So.
For sure.
That may well be a pretty heavy theme in the upcoming game. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
I'll never tell.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next week for more Roll for Mischief time.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It's awesome.
Thanks for
See
watching.
you, everyone.
See ya.